Alright, trying to get this video started about some of the new things with Erank, so we can get everybody kind of understanding exactly what the changes are, that kind of thing. There's been some questions on it, and I think there's some confusion maybe about the changes, when honestly the main thing that you're with the grades changing, nothing's changed there except the grade went away. Most of the stuff on that page is the same, except there's some extra, and there's so many more extra things that have actually been added to the page. So there's that's just even more of a plus with the new things that have been added on there. I'm trying to make sure that this thing is recording. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Kind of helps to go live. Alright. Hopefully, in a couple minutes, we will be live. I'm just giving this a minute for it to kind of catch up with me. I'm going to do a little video to kind of see if I can get a couple people caught up. I think there's been a lot of questions, a little bit of confusion as far as the changes that went on with Erank today. Honestly, the changes are not that major as far as the whole section of the listing audit, other than the grade disappearing. There's actually some new things added on there that's going to help you even more, and there's some other new things in there that are really going to be helpful. I've had one person message me, kind of didn't see the point in Erank, and kind of thought I was saying I was giving up on it, and that was totally not at all what I said at all. I was very misunderstanding. I was saying something totally different, but so I thought maybe I better go ahead and do a few things to try to clear that up. With the changes that have gone on, he has changed the grading so that we don't have a grade anymore. People became a little too dependent on that grade, and that they had an A or a B or whatever, but they weren't concerned with whether or not they used good wording. Were they using good keywords? Were they keeping the good keywords they had? And a lot of people took away good keywords that they had, that were working, that were making them sales, to get that A rank, because they thought they had to make the title extremely short and 3 to 4 words in order to get an A. Well, that worked to get an A because you took out the commas and you didn't have as much punctuation in there, so you suddenly had an A. But then you suddenly also didn't have good wording in there because you did away with half of your good keywords. And that's the whole thing now, is to try to get you to understand the whole main thing of getting good SEO. This is something you have to work on. This is something you have to learn on your own. This is something that you have got to learn how to do the research. I can tell you what to do, and I can lay it right out and tell you the words to put in there off the top of my head. Now you have to go back and you have to look and do the research to see if what I told you is the right word or not. Now, mind you, I've done it enough that most of the time I'm pretty close, because I kind of have learned how to do this, and I've researched it for so many different people that I kind of know what keywords work for what products. But as a store owner, as a Etsy shop owner, you have to learn how to come on here and use these tools on Erank to help yourself. That is what this program has been developed for. It has been developed to help you help yourself. Now, one of my last videos I did, we were talking about the fact that Erank is designed to help you understand whether or not you have formatted or set up your listing correctly. It was never grading the wording in your listing, whether you use the best wording or search phrases in your title or not. It is grading whether you set it up right. That grade is gone now, but all of the other information is still there. The whole goal is to get you to figure out how to do this on your own and not be dependent on whether you see an A or a B or not, to get you to look at the things that were causing you to have a low grade and fix those things correctly. That is what the point is now. He has added a lot of things on here, like how you can track the changes you made. So if you change a listing title, you can click track my changes, and it will take the screenshots of that title and say, if you're going to change one, you can click track my changes before you ever change it, and it's going to take a screenshot of it. And then after you make the changes, it's going to track it on a daily basis to see how it has affected your visibility. Are you getting seen more? Are you getting more views? Is this, you starting to get more sales? And it's going to help you track the changes that you make and see if they are working. You're still going to have to give it several, a few weeks to see how it's doing, but it's going to keep a track on that information. Now, at this time, he said it's only able to track up to 20 listings. I recommend you get your, the ones you're really trying to sell, or either the ones that are not doing well at all, start with first. And if you track it a few weeks and it seems like what you changed worked, then you can untrack it and go to a new one. But this is a feature that we haven't had before, that you can track, and it may just be, I'm not sure if this is something that's just for pro or if it's for everybody, but that's a good feature on there. I had to go out and watch this video to tell you for sure, y'all. I'm sorry, but it tracks the changes, the dates. There's so much more information on here than there was before. So, someone told me they were going to go back to Marmalade. Well, why are you going to do that now when you've got way more information over here? And some of these things that, you're going to get so much more information. Just because suddenly there's no grade there to stick in front of your face when that grade really wasn't doing a thing for you. It's not doing anything at all. Here's what... a few things I'm just going to go over so you can understand with where that listing grade was. If you go up here and it says listing reports, well, that's where the grades were. So now instead of a grade, it's going to give you a report on your thing. So if you come here, you're not going to see grades, you're going to see the listing report, but you've got your last time you updated it. If it tells you right here where it says SEO suggestions and it says 3, and then I'm going to look down and I've got some that say 5 suggestions, 4 suggestions, 6 suggestions. Here's how you look at this, and I had somebody tell me, how am I going to know what my grade is? Okay, well, if it says like this one and says 8, chances are my grade would have been an E. That's how you're going to know. If you have a whole lot of suggestions, chances are that listing wasn't looking so great. Now, what I do know is my conversion rate on this listing is 2.9, which is low, but I haven't sold a lot of those. It's a quirky little thing that I did that I don't know if any other seller has had it. It's something I actually made up, and so it's not sold a ton, but I have sold some. I've had views. My visibility score is 29%, but it's got a lot of suggestions. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to say edit on Etsy. and my listing audit. So I'm going to click on my listing audit, and I'm going to go look at it, and I'm going to show you what the things are that you look for now. Okay, looks like it did before pretty much, except we have our available reports for this now. These are reports that when you click on them, you can get different reports for all your listings. It shows me this. It shows I can click on it, see it on Etsy, shows me my title, and I can look right at it and tell, yep, that grade was going to be low because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 commas. So I automatically know from looking at that I was not going to have a good grade before if the grade was still there. So I'm looking at my title now, and I'm realizing, hey, I see too many commas in there. So this title is not exactly set up in the best format to get me a good to be the best as it should be for Etsy. So it's got down here suggested recommendations 3. This is what we're looking at now instead of a grade. Other suggestions 5. So this is what we're going to look at, and we're going to take note of them. Suggestions. This listing has an excellent conversion rate, although there may be some suggestions. I can't talk, y'all. I'm sorry. Suggestions for change. You may want to test them gradually and ensure your conversion rates don't drop. What that tells you is you might want to change a few things, but you don't want to change so much that your listing tanks and you start getting no sales. What that's telling me is don't be a dummy and don't take out your good keywords so that you make it tank, because it's getting sales, but it's got other issues other than keywords or my title. My title's not written right, but I got some good keywords in there. That's what that's telling me, because I know I've had some conversion on it and I'm getting views. It says check your Etsy shop stats and be careful not to remove good keywords from your listing. So that's telling me, hey, be smart about this. Don't remove the good keywords like sterling silver, so that they know it's sterling silver. Hand stamped jewelry is a good keyword, and I know that. Mommy necklaces, personalized jewelry is. So I don't want to remove the good keywords, but I want to format this a little better so that it looks better to Etsy, so that this title, instead of looking like a jumble of words, reads better to a customer. So I'm looking at this now, and I can tell this. I've looked at this enough. I know that that's what my problem is with it, and that these suggestions are going to be telling me just that when I go down there. So it's got your recommendations. Right here and right here is what you're looking at now instead of a grade. Wish I had my little marker and I could go, all of this is what you're going to look at. Recommendations. It looks like my title may have been written for computers, not humans. Well, yep, you're right. It does, because I have too many commas. So that's what that's telling me. That's recommendation number 1. Number 2 is it contains several single word tags. It's better to use multi-phrase tags or longer tail keywords. So I've already learned that. I've done this enough. I know this when I'm doing my SEO, that's something that's not good for Etsy. You don't want to use so many single word tags. Then it's talking about my description may be too long. These are other suggestions of things that you may or may not want to change. It depends. I don't have 10 pictures. I've got 5. I'm not going to worry about the fact that I don't have 10. I got enough for people to see. I may add a few more later, but right now I'm not going to concern myself with that. It's saying my processing time is long, but actually my processing time is about 3 days. I do put it a little bit longer for sterling silver in case I need to order sterling. In case I was to need to order supplies for this particular item, they take me a little longer to get, so I do have a longer processing time, but that's not unusual for a shop that sells what I sell, so I'm not going to concern myself with that suggestion. It says my description may be too long. Well, yeah, it may be for Etsy, because I'm actually putting some other information in there that's specifically containing to my thing, and a little more information about what I make that the customer might need to know. So I'm not really gonna worry about that one either. So those are just suggestions slightly to look at other suggestions, but they're not things I'm going to fix. But I am going to fix the recommended, because the recommended things are things that are a little more important, that are going to help you be seen a little bit better. So I'm gonna make sure that I am I'm going to check those things more carefully, because those are the things that, when it says suggested and recommended, those are things that it's recommending you fix, so that you are more in the best format for Etsy. Okay, so that's the thing you're looking at now. Instead of a grade, you're going to have a recommendation, and if you have more recommendations, then that means you've got more issues to fix. But you're going to follow what it's telling you, and you're going to fix it based on that. So it's telling me I got too many commas for one thing, and it says it's written by a computer. I have too many single word tags, and then I have used some tags that are duplicates that were included in other things. Okay, so I'm going to go down and look, and my conversion rate, my visibility score, my views, the hearts, these things look fairly good. So this is saying focus on a short, clear, descriptive title. Okay, so I know what I need to do. My title's just too long, and I'm going to reword it and make it look better. And then I'm going to go down before I ever go to work on my listing, and I'm gonna look at my tags, and I'm gonna see if I can figure out what it was talking about here. And I have the word engraved, that's a single word tag. Okay, and then I have monkeys, that's a single word, and then I have not my monkeys as a similar tag. Well, I don't really need to have monkeys in there if I have not my monkeys. Just so you know, this is not my monkeys, not my circus, is what this tag is, and what this little necklace is. So it's not something you see everywhere. I have stamp jewelry, but I also have hand stamp jewelry. So those are the things I know that I need to fix, because I have some red X's there, and if I have some red X's there, then I know that's something I need to look at. And if I have this here, it's telling me that I have something similar, and that I know that that's what I need to look at. So it's telling me what I need to fix. I don't need that letter grade. I'm seeing right here what I need to fix right off the bat. I don't even need to know. I mean, having looked at the grades before, I can tell you I probably had an E on this, but I don't need that, because I'm being told what do you need to fix on here. So it's telling me what I need to know, just like it did before. Before, it had a grade up there, but it told me all the same information to fix. So that didn't go away. That didn't change, everybody. It's also telling me I didn't have any attributes clicked on this. This is a listing that, I hadn't even done anything with in a while. So it definitely needed work, and I know it needed work. So I'm going to go down, and I'm going to fix this, and I'm going to see, how many recommendations it's going to give me later, after I fix the things that it's suggesting and that I know needed to be fixed. So I'm going to go and I'm going to edit my listing on Etsy. Now, somebody had asked, could you bulk edit things through Erank? No, you cannot. That's not something that he has in line. And you know what? You don't need it. Etsy gives us that option on there with their bulk editing tool. So if there's something particular you need to fix in a tag, and you're going to take out Valentine's Day and put Mother's Day, hey, you know what you need to do. You hit remove this and add this, and you can do 600 listings at one time right on Etsy. I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to edit this thing here, and I'm going to redo my title based on making it look more like a sentence. For this, I have my photos, I have my I'm going to preview this. I want to see something with my photos. No, that one's probably, I'm going to leave it. Okay, so that this is got way too much I'm going to add one photo there. It's got way too many commas, so I'm going to fix that. And I will tell you, I'm on here where you get this little thing here. I have found that even on my phone, sometimes this little caution sign, I can't tell a difference when the photo's up there. I've looked, I can't figure out anything any different, honestly. So I'm not going to be real concerned with some of that when that comes up. But with this one, I know I need to put what it says. I need to rearrange this title, and I'm gonna rearrange it, and I'm gonna fix the things I know need to be fixed. That was a duplicate. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna put down 25 sterling silver, and I'm gonna start rearranging this title to make it so it doesn't look like it's written by a computer anymore. I'm going to put what it actually says on there, so that part shows right up under the listing. I'm going to change this. Yeah. I'm going to change it, because this one's been getting seen, so I want to make sure that I don't lose any of the good keywords that I had. So I'm going to put custom personalized. No, I want to put custom. I'm trying to decide how I want to do it. Made to order, charm necklace, unisex kid. I'm gonna try to fix these attributes that had not been in here for some reason. I don't know what happened with that, but I'm changing all of that stuff and making sure it's right. Sometimes when Etsy does update, y'all, it cuts off some of our attributes and things that we have clicked on, and you do have to keep a check on that to make sure that you can fix things are turned on or whatever, because I have had my can it be personalized. As you see, there's nothing there. It was checked, and then it's all gone. I'm gonna put something here. Gonna put that on here. A chain style. Just get all my attributes fixed, because Erank was telling me my attributes weren't there, and it was right. I didn't have any on there. I'm gonna put it as a birthday gift, because it could be a birthday gift. I'm going to change that. I'm going to put this up here, change this. I'm going to take out some few things that I don't need there. I'm going to leave that for Valentine's Day. I'm going to check my tags, because my listing audit was saying that I had extra things in my tag, like monkeys, engraved. I had stamped jewelry, and I also have hand stamped. So I had 3 tags I can change and add here. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna to add a couple things I had not used before, since I now have room for some better tags. So I'm going to add a few more things that I know work. So I got 13 there. I think everything else was good. I'm going to preview it just to make sure, and then I'm gonna publish it. So when I do that, I'm going to go right back just like we've always done before on Erank, and I'm going to check my listing audit, and I'm going to refresh it, and I'm going to see if it still tells me I have some of the same issues or not. And we'll see. But it's all a matter of learning to look at things just like you should have been learning to look at it before, and following these suggestions. People have been so dependent. See, I now have 0 recommendations there. I have some suggestions, but they're suggestions on things that I'm not going to change. So I fixed it so I don't have so much punctuation. I have 1, 2, 3 punctuation marks. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 good keyword phrases. If I look back on my listing for Etsy, on Etsy, what I'm going to find is I actually still have room space left in my title. So I've actually shortened my title but made it better. And that's the key here, is learning how to do this and make your titles better but not remove the good wording. If the thing was working, say I have 6 spaces left, so I'm good. I mean, I could have done these where I ended up with 30 spaces left. So it's a matter of learning how to do it and what to follow here. So what I can do with this, because see, now I look and I'm using high and very high. My Etsy searches, or some of them are very high, some are unknown. Some of them have a lot of competition. You know, I'm going to just keep a check on this. I can look down here and see this. I can see a little preview here, and it's showing what's under my exactly is under the photo, so I'm good. So now I'm going to just move on, and I'm going to go back to a different listing, because I'm going to show you just a couple of these, because that's the problem that I'm finding people are having, is, you know, I don't understand what to look for now. I don't know where to go, but you're looking at the same thing you were looking at before. Nothing's changed there with that. If I can get this to go back to where I want to. Trying to get back to my listing reports. I think I have too many browsers open. Okay, so let's see. This is updated again, so I'm going to look down again, and I'm going to find another one, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the ones that have a lot of suggestions. Now I'm probably going to have to update. I'm going to track my changes on that one. Since I just changed it, I'm going to take advantage of this feature, and I'm going to track that one listing, and let's see how, you know, what happens with it, and see how my changes do. That's a new feature. It's going to keep a track on it, so I can go back and I can track my listings, and then I can look at every day, and I'll be able to tell what it was like today, and then as it settles in, exactly how that's going to fix, and what's going to happen with it. So I'm going to look for another one that has a lot of suggestions. So if it has 3, 4, 5, I'm going to, you know, I'm going to start with the ones that have a lot of suggestions first. And you can easily flip this, I think, so that you can get to the worst ones first, or the best ones first. I think I flipped it to the least one, so I'm going to flip it again. Okay, so now I have one that has 7 suggestions. I've gotten to the ones that's got 7 and 9. Oh, let's look at the one that has 9. I know that the keywords that are in it are actually good keywords, but here we have again, I have comma, 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 comma in here, so that is why if the grade was still there, I know my grade would have been an E. So what I'm looking for now is the fact that I have too many commas, and here I have my recommendations of things that should be changed and my suggestions. The recommendations are going to tell me my title looks like it's written for a computer because I have too many commas. It's also telling me it contains single word tags. It's telling me there's tags that are similar in there. It has duplicates in the categories and tags. So it's telling me all this. It's also telling me it's had a terrible, since I relisted it, it's not had any conversion. Haven't sold any. I have sold some in the past, but I redid this listing and it's not done well since. I think I had it inactive and I just started it back, but it's not been doing anything. So I already know, there's a lot of things I need to change. I'm going to look. There's jewelry, so I know I need to take that out, and it's because I've used it in hand stamped jewelry and stamped jewelry. I don't need to use stamped jewelry and hand stamped. And personalized is a single word tag. But here's one. There's some things, and Anthony went over that today, like a longer tag word or a longer keyword. If you have to put it in a tag and it's too long, you can't put another one with it, then you're going to just ignore that, because sometimes if it's a longer word and you can only fit so many characters in a tag, then you can't put anything else with it, and you're just going to have that single word tag. But a lot of times you can put at least 2 words in one, but there are occasions where you're going to have to just ignore it, and because it won't let you put another word. It's too long of the one word's too long. So my attributes again are cut off on here, so I got to fix that. I do have pictures, and what's showing under here is not my best wording to show under there. So that's the things that I know what to fix. You can easily find what it is you're looking for under recommendations, suggested recommendations and suggestions. It's written right here. So when somebody told me I don't know what I'm looking for now, it's written there. It's plain as day in your face. Those are the suggestions. Before, you had a grade up there and everybody was looking at making the grade go away, but they figured out, if I take away those commas, that's going to fix it and I'm going to have an A. But they neglected to look at the other recommendations that were there, and they also were neglecting to use good keywords and neglecting to figure out what good wording needed to be used, and researching tags. That's the thing that happened way too often, was people were ignoring to go with short. They were just completely forgetting, I still need good keywords. Short's not the main thing. I need my good keywords. I need to get seen. That's the important part. Making it short is not the most important thing here. If you take out all the good wording, short don't mean squat, because you're still not going to get seen. I'm going to edit this one. And by looking at it, I've kind of repeated a lot of the same word in there. And there's some way better keywords that I can add in this title. And I know that because I should have changed this one up a long time ago. I'm going to go here. Change all that. Matter of fact, I'm going to change that part completely. looking at some attribute things that, because my attributes were all, nothing was done. I had not fixed this one, and you know, it was making it clear to me I needed to get those fixed in order to get this listing in a better format so that it will show up better. I'm going to change this to First Communion, I think. And it can be personalized. Alright, so now I'm ready to fix this title. This title really needed some help. See, I've changed this, and I've now got 1, 2, 3 good phrases, and I still have space here. I'm going to try this and see if it still tells me it looks like it's made for a computer or not. Hopefully it won't, because I wanted to add that one good keyword. Because see, remember, Etsy did, you know, it tells us it pulls all of our keywords from throughout the entire title. It's pulling keywords from everywhere, so it doesn't really matter where those keywords are so much. It just matters, you know, that they can find them. Okay. I'm going to leave that because that's good. Then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to find what needs to be changed here. So I didn't need jewelry here. Personalized, I'm going to have to, I'm going to see, but I don't think I can. Pretty sure I can't. Oh, no, it let me, so I'm going to do that. And that's going to fix the personalized one because I'm going to put personalized gift instead. I don't need stamped jewelry because I have hand stamped. I'm going to go back and look at my audit and see what else it was I needed to fix. Jewelry and personalized were the only two. And because this one I'm changing so much, I'm going to renew it. And then I'm going to refresh here, and I'm going to see what I got. And my goal is to try to get rid of these recommendations in that spot. Must not have had time to reset yet. No, it didn't. Did I hit publish? Because that would be a problem. Try to make sure I actually hit the publish button so it would republish it. And it did not. Dang. Okay, well, no problem. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go back to the edit. And maybe I saved it and it just didn't publish it. I sure hope. And it did not turn. How did that happen? Okay. No problem. Well, dang. This is what happens sometimes when you try to renew. I should have published and saved first and then renewed. Okay. I'm hoping maybe y'all kind of can get the idea, though, that you're looking to get rid of those recommendations, and that spot's what you're doing first. That's what it's telling you needs to be fixed. I'm not able to give up on this one and come back to it. Maybe not. Jewelry, personalized gift. This. Think of it. Did I even turn that on? No, I did not. So what I'm doing is trying to add as many good keywords in this title as possible. With as little commas as possible. Okay. accomplish then renew this time so I don't lose it after I did it twice. And renew. Yep. Because the reason I'm renewing it is it resets that title so that it will start showing up in the better searches pretty fast. That is another thing, and I don't renew them all the time, but when you do that, if it's one that's like this one was that really needed a lot of changes, when you hit renew, it does help it to reset and set faster. And there I have 0 recommendations, so I've accomplished what I was out to do. And I have now got this listing formatted better. Yes, I still have those 5 suggestions over here, but the suggestions are that it was too long of a description, but I'm not worried about that. There's things in that description that need to be in there. It does have a spelling issue in the tag I do need to fix. And it has images, so I'm going to find out what my spelling issue is, and there it is. So all I got to do now is fix that. I don't know how I did that. I guess I was typing too fast when I did my tag. And then I'm going to be done with this. But that's what you're doing is I'm going to go back and fix it in a little bit. Is you're looking at this listing report just like you did before, except we don't have that grade to distract us. You just focus on the suggestions and recommendations. I'm going to show you a couple more things really fast because this is going on about an hour now, and I'm going to do another whole video on this, and I'm going to also look at it with the free version for those of you that have the free version, if that will help you. I'm going to go back to that listing when I fix that, and I'm going to track it because I'm going to start tracking my changes on the ones that I'm doing that are like major changes like this. That's a new feature, is this tracking the changes here so that you can see if what you're doing is working. This here where it's got shop and it's got listings and it says new, this is where you can go there and you can get to all your listings from there. And again, if you're looking the ones that you want to change, you go under here where it says SEO suggestions, and that's where you're looking at, and it tells you the number of suggestions that you have. So when you see those high numbers, those are the ones you want to work on first. If you want to work on a section and say you have more than one section in your shop, like I have charms and I have hand stamped, I can look at just the one section of my charms and say I'm going to work on that section today, and I want to see which ones are the worst ones on that. And you just click that section and it'll pull up just those listings in that particular section, so you can see which ones you need to work on there first, and you can do a section at a time if you want to. But he has gotten it setting up now so that it's going to be easier to kind of plan what you're going to do and to get those suggestions fixed. And when you get rid of, basically when you remove those suggestions in that first column, then you've done what you would have, you've basically make yourself to the A. Okay, if you're that focused on an A, when you remove all those suggestions, you probably would have an A, is what it is. But you have to keep in mind, just like if that grade was still there, did I do it with the correct wording? Did I use the best wording when I did it? Our goal now is not to see an A, it's to see a 0 under SEO suggestion. I guess that's the easiest way I know to put it, is the goal now is to remove the numbers and make it and get it down to 0. So I don't know if it'll show 0 here because it's still going to have those other ones, but it'll get it so that you have 0 left in that first column for the actual, recommendations. We want to get it so that our recommendation is 0. Even if we still have a few suggestions over there, that's what we want to decide on our own. If we want to do, we want to get the actual recommendation ones to 0. I'm going to click on this one and see, because it's showing it only has 2, and I just want to check to see if that's counting the suggestions. I wanted to go listing. If you hit edit on Etsy from that page, it will take you automatically to it and you won't see this part. But see, this only has suggestions to start with. My recommendations are gone. So I'm going to want to always go to the listing audit first so that I can see this part, because I know that's the things I'm going to need to change on Etsy. And these are just the suggestions that I may or may not want to change. And that's how you're going to tell now is, do I have a number here in this box of things that I need to fix first? And then I'm going to look at this last for the suggestions other to decide, is that part something I want to fix or not? Or is it something I'm not that concerned about? But that's the thing now to look for is what's in that box. The number, not a letter. We're going to be now focusing on the number that's in that box. Maybe that'll help y'all a little bit, is to kind of flip your thinking from A's, B's, C's, and D's to numbers. The higher the number, the worse my listing probably looks to Etsy. The lower the number in that box, the better it looks to Etsy. Hopefully that makes sense to y'all. That now our goal is to get to 0. So if your number in there is 8, the goal is to get it to a 0 to make it look better, and then you will have achieved the correct format, and you will have it so that it's fairly optimized as far as format goes for Etsy. And then you just have to keep in mind to use the best wording in here while you're correcting that format. I can't tell how many people are watching other than Sandra. If anybody else is watching and has any questions, if you want to type them in right now before I get off, I may give you a chance to do that while I'm going to go back and fix my spelling issue on this. And then I'm going to get off for the night because I have a couple other things I need to do before I go to bed. But I mean, hopefully maybe I guess that's the best way I can think of to get it in your head, is now we're looking at numbers, not letters, in that box, because I know it's confusing, and I realize that, and I realize that every time something changes, everybody starts kind of freaking out. And Anthony knew, every time he's tried to do away with the letter grade before, that's kind of what's happened. But we're trying to really eliminate it and explain it so that people understand, just what you need to do in there. Now it's just a matter of looking for the number, not the letter. And maybe if once you've changed your focus there, that'll make it easier for everybody, I hope. I really hadn't thought about it until now, but that's basically your goal now, is to go to get that 0. So you have 0 errors. Maybe take that number as an indication of errors you may have made. And so when you get that number gone, then and get it down to 0, then that's an indication that you, at least format wise, you don't have a lot of errors in there that's going to pick up on Etsy as a problem. It's kind of like the more numbers you have, the higher the recommendations are, then that's the more little check mark, more little X's you would have had on a test. That it's more little mistakes. So when you get to 0, that means you've corrected all your mistakes basically to get that so that the format's right. And then you have to focus on, do I have the format with the best wording? And what I'm going to recommend for everybody is the very first thing you do is research your words and make sure that you have the best wording to put in the title, the best keywords to put in the title first. That's your number one priority, is do I have the best wording first? Even if your format's not right and you're looking at it and you have 8 issues there, first you want to make sure that when you're fixing those issues, you're doing it with the best wording. So you want to take your listings and you want to find the best wording, and you want to go to that keyword tool first and get the best keywords you can. You want to take full advantage of the tools and the keyword explorer over here, because all that's still the same, and you want to get the best wording, and then you can get to the 0 with the best wording. He's added a few new features as far as the listings, the competition listings, the tracker on here now that's new, and I think there was a couple other things he pointed out. That's the, if I can get back to it, the reports up here at the top. So another thing, if you're looking and you have listings with missing attributes, you can pull those up so you know which ones you need to click first. I'm going to look at that. And the one-word tags, if you want to work on those kinds of things one at a time, you can go to those and it's going to pull up those. And see, like right here I have the ones with missing attributes. I can pull them up and see which ones are first. So I know which ones to work on. So tomorrow I'm going to try to do a little more with this, but I thought maybe this would help y'all to kind of, so if you're trying to work on it tomorrow, to reset your thinking now so that you know where to look, and you're looking in that box at that number there instead of a grade. You're going to look at the 4s, 5s, 6s, and 7s or whatever, and that's where you're going to focus, is what are those recommendations and how to get that to a 0. So let's just change our whole way of thinking to that. I'm going to get this stopped here and click off of these so I can get back to where I was. Maybe that's made sense to y'all. I hope so. It's kind of late, and I'm hoping I'm explaining it better, but I will revisit this again tomorrow and go a little more in depth. And I'm going to also do another video for the private class, and I'll try to see if I can get one with this, looking at it from the Etsy Rank free version for you also tomorrow. Y'all have a good night.